Hello guys, in today's video we are going to be looking at two pretty bad Ekko matchups. First versus Fizz, and then after versus Silas. But before we do, I just want to say thank you so much for the support I've been getting on these videos. We recently hit 100 subscribers, and to be honest I've been getting more views than I expected. And if you like my content, I will be streaming whenever I can on this channel, so do check that out as well. But without further ado, let's get started. So if you notice in this game, the enemy Fizz has Ignite while we have Teleport. So this does make him stronger in the early game. However, if we're able to survive the first few waves, we can use our TP advantage to put him in a bad spot. So starting off the lane, Fizz actually comes to lane late, so we immediately secure the push. By slow pushing the wave, we have the minion advantage, so if he ever decides to trade with us, he will be getting hit by more minions than we do, and then we will also hit our level ups first, which makes it harder for him to trade back, essentially neutralizing the matchup. And every time he goes for CS, we can hit him with poke. Unfortunately I missed my Q here, but I walked with it, so the return Q hits. And then I auto attack him when he goes to the minion. Because we hit level 2 first, we can look to trade. However, I didn't account for him leveling up off that minion as well, so instead of getting a good trade, we just trade even. But it's still favorable for me, because I will hit my level 3 first. Once again, we hit him with even more poke. However, at this point, I really should have been focused on crashing the wave, because if I crash this wave and then reset, he's in a really terrible situation, because he won't be able to continue laning with that much HP. Instead, because I was too focused on poking him, I didn't crash the wave in time, and I get ganked by Talon. Now I have to burn my flash, and the wave is in a really terrible spot. If I decide to recall now, I would lose too many minions, so I have to try and crash it. However, Fizz has flash and ignite, so if I misstep, he could easily kill me. Thankfully, he doesn't play aggressive enough, so we're able to get the wave in. Now we just TP back. My Shaco actually ganks here, so Fizz dies. However, even if Shaco didn't gank here, I would still do the same thing, and that is freeze the wave. I use my W to group up all the minions and stun them, and now the wave is frozen under my tower. Because of this, Fizz will lose an entire cannon wave. So all we want to do is keep the wave frozen here, because it makes it really hard for Fizz to trade into us. If he ever decides to Q aggressively or E aggressively, he will have to take a tower shot, or lose damage to avoid the tower shot. When Fizz comes back to lane, he really wants to crash the wave. However, I am a level up and I have the wave frozen, so I'm not going to let him crash it easily. He tries to trade with me, but he ends up taking a tower shot, so we get a really favorable trade. And we still have the wave frozen, so he can't walk up for any minions. And all we want to do is slow push. That way we can deny him as many minions as possible, and then when we do crash the wave, we have a bigger timer to do whatever we want on the map. So now because it's a cannon wave, we hard push so we can reset ourselves. Because Fizz will have to clear the cannon wave, we will be able to make it back to lane in time to once again freeze the wave. And by recalling, we refill our potions and also get an item lead. So now Fizz doesn't have enough time to push the wave before we get back. So once again we use our W to freeze the wave. So now Fizz will lose another wave. And because we have the wave frozen, it makes it really hard for him to trade with us again. So anytime he walks up for CS, we can punish. He tries to trade, but he has to use E to dodge the tower damage, so we can trade back with our E and we get a really favorable trade. For some reason he decides to all in, but we just stay patient and wait to use our ult to dodge his ult, and then he's forced to flash out. Now he can't stay on this HP, so we can just shove the wave and recall. Now we have a 20 CS lead and a huge XP lead, even though this is a bad matchup. And we are now level 7. Our game plan changes. there is no reason to freeze anymore. Instead, we can just perma push and have mid prio. That way, we can roam and impact the map. So if you notice this game, the enemy team has a Cassante top lane, so there is not really much point in me playing for top. Instead, I push the wave and look to gank bot lane. Right now, the enemy bot lane has level 6 advantage, so they really want to fight here. But they don't know I'm here, and I'm confident we can win the fight because we have Braum, who can block a lot of damage, I have my ult coming up soon, I have flash, and my bot lane is still full HP. And my Braum does a good job baiting them in. Braum stuns the Annie here, so I focus her to kill her before she can get her damage off. Varus decides to chase and walks right into my ultimate, so we pick up another free kill. Meanwhile, my Shaco actually clears the mid wave from under my tower, so we lost no resources on the map. So now I just reset, buy my Proto Belt and TP back to lane. Because we are ahead, there is no point in freezing anymore at this stage in the game, so instead we are pushing every wave to try and do things on the map. At this point, Fizz is really desperate to make something happen, so he tries to use ult here, but it's a very slow projectile, so we're able to dodge it. And then we just push the wave and get a plate. Now if you remember, Fizz doesn't have flash because he used it earlier when we all-in'd him. So with our flash advantage, if he makes a mistake, we can easily kill him. At this point his lane is completely doomed, we're up so much CS, XP and gold. So all we need to do to win this game is just keep pushing and just look to do things on the map. Now let's get into the Sylas matchup. This game we are running Electrocute while he is running First Strike, so we are a bit stronger in the early game because Electrocute just does more damage than First Strike. And he gives up priority, so we will gladly take that, start slow pushing the wave. Now our goal is to crash on the third wave and do the same thing we did in the Fizz matchup, which is either recall or do something on the map. And anytime he walks up, we want to trade. Punish him for getting CS with our Q and auto. Because we're going to hit level 2 soon, we want to save our Q to trade on our level 2. Always remember to walk with your opponent so your return Q hits. So now the third wave is arriving, so we just want to hard push this. However, I was a bit too focused on hitting the Sylas with poke, so we are slow to crash the wave. However, Sylas is still forced to collect this whole wave under tower, so we have a timer to do what we want. And looking bot lane, the enemy bot lane is really pushed up and we have a Blitzcrank. So there is a good chance that this gank will work out, especially because we also have our jungler here, making this a 4v2. So there we go, we pick up a free kill, put our bot lane ahead, put my jungler ahead, and now we can just recall and TP back to lane with an item lead. After this, the game turned into a complete fiesta, so I don't think it's worth to review anymore. So with that being said, thank you for watching, I hope you were able to learn something from this video, and good luck in your games.